Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all of you. Today our topic again is the statements of Mr. Muhammad James White. You know, I made a challenge before to James White, and I said to him, can you name for me one thing ISIS did Muhammad did not do? And he refused to answer, but instead of answering, he just sent me a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, Christian Prince. Enjoy your holiday. I mean, you know, when somebody speak about being consistent, and he keep mentioning that in his videos always, and then we don't find him himself consistent in what he say. Like, you know, he asks in many videos that when somebody he says something, give me a reference, show me what are you talking about, where you get this from. Knowledge is not based on a statement, a speech. It's based on facts. But yet, James White, he is not consistent with his own self.
Being consistently Christian isn't the same thing as being consistently fill in political party, fill in political position.
So, which one is you? You are being a consistent Christian, or you are being a consistent person who have a PhD, which means you are a person who speak in an academic way, or what is consistent about you, Mr. James? To be honest, to make it simple, I don't find anything about you is consistent. Nothing.
Other is La ilaha illallah. There is one God worthy of worship. That's what all the prophets came together. That all of them, that was their message. No matter what people group they were sent to, that was their message. And from their perspective, well, from the perspective of the believing, I think, consistent Muslim at that point, the doctrine of the Trinity is a violation of that and therefore would be considered satanic. That's not the same thing as saying that if you identify a secular humanist perspective as opposing Christ, that the same thing as Anton LaVey or even more serious Satanists sacrificing animals or something. So obviously there has to be a recognition of different categories of...
Look what he just said to you. He's trying to make you believe that Muslims, yes, they reject you and they consider your teaching is evil, but they are not equal to evil other ones. You know, they are not bad. You know, they just believe your belief is wrong. And he's talking about those who do sacrifice, who they are not Muslims, they are evil, but he don't dare to say that Islam is the religion of sacrifice. Because Mr. James White, isn't it Allah who ordered the Muslims to slaughter the Christians and the Jews so he can get happy? How come you have the courage to say what you said about the Christians, about the Jews, about anything else, about the Hindus, about the Buddhas, but when it's come to Islam, you don't have the courage to say? I bought a new keyboard and I don't have Arabic text in it yet. Actually, this has come with the new computer. Sorry to change the topic. That's why it's taking time to type. Chapter 9, verse number 14. It says, Allah said, supposedly, fight them and Allah will punish them by your hands. So what does that mean exactly? It's mean Allah, He ordered the Muslims to practice their own sacrifice. To make Allah happy, Muslims have a duty. And the duty is very simple. It's to fight them. Who? The Christians, the Jews, whoever not a Muslim. To do what exactly? What is the mission in this fight? To punish them. If we ask James White, is that evil? James White will say no. It's okay to punish Christians by beheading them, slaughtering them, killing them, But the atheists are the evil one, not the Muslims, you know. He's just trying to explain to you how nice Islam. Islam, the same we think about the religion is evil, they think about us evil, but they are equal to us. We are just having different understanding. But he will not tell you that Islam practice evil, not only believe in different belief in us. You know, if a Muslim, he want to worship the black stone and kiss it, okay, I believe he's wrong, but that does not make him evil. He's been misleaded, been lied to, been misguided. But when you say to me, I am a person who believe I have the right to slaughter you because my God, he ordered me to slaughter you and put shame on you and humiliate you, and the whole point of this is just because you don't believe in my God. This is evil practice. Then James White, he tried to give excuse for Muslims and says, well, you are getting it wrong, Christians. Islam does not teach that. Islam is good religion. Continue, James White.
Of openness in rebellion and how much knowledge you have, and all these things are relevant to the final judgment and things like that.
Okay.
So we have to be able to make a distinction. We have to be able to make a distinction between the Muslim who becomes militarized and uses religion as a basis of sex slaves and rape and pillaging and beheading and all the other insanity and satanic evil of ISIS. And the Muslim that says all of that is absolutely 1000% opposed to anything that we should ever do in the name of God, and is the best neighbor you've ever had. If you can't make a distinction between the two, yes, as Christians we go, they both need to hear about Jesus. And I sort of wonder if some of you folks really believe that. Because it seems some of you, yeah, the nice next door neighbor, he needs to hear about Jesus, but that guy just, he needs.
You see, James White, I believe that you are a person. The whole video is about you attacking a Christian preacher for he said Islam is evil, and I find that you are always getting upset when you see someone he is very well known and Christians they listen to him and he is saying the truth. So you try to prove yourself that you know more than him. Look like you have an ego problem. If we listen to what this guy he said, Muhammad James White, he is even accusing you that you don't want to bring the gospel to the Muslims. Imagine how far he go. He is calling us names, that we are hypocrite, we are liars. Listen carefully for what he said.
Other insanity and satanic evil of ISIS. And the Muslim that says all of that is absolutely 1000% opposed to anything that we should ever do in the name of God, and is the best neighbor you've ever had. If you can't make a distinction between the two, yes, as Christians we go, they both need to hear about Jesus. And I sort of wonder if some of you folks really believe that.
See how filthy this accusation? Look what he said. He is claiming that you Christians, and he's talking to the ones who listen to him, and there is still some dummies that listen to this guy after this, that I wonder if you guys really, you want to tell the Muslims about the gospel. I wonder, well, James White, can I go to Saudi Arabia to tell the Muslims about the gospel? Can I preach the gospel in, can I do missionary in Qatar, in Emirat, in Bahrain, in Syria, in Egypt? Or I will be arrested and I will be killed. How stupid what you say, James White. So if somebody says Islam is wrong, he is not qualified, according to James White, to present the Bible to the Muslims. Well, how you can present the Bible for them if they don't show them that the Islam is wrong? Why a person, he will leave his cult if you don't show him it's a cult? And then look what he said. I will go a little bit again so we can laugh together about what he said. Very stupid statement from someone he claimed to be a knowledgeable man.
the Muslim who becomes militarized and uses religion as a basis of sex slaves and rape and pillaging and beheading and all the other insanity and satanic evil of ISIS. And the Muslim says all of that is absolutely 1,000% opposed to anything that we should ever do in the name of God, and is the best neighbor you've ever had. If you
guys, the Muslim, they said, did you hear it? The Muslim, they said, so if the Muslim, they said that, we have to take it for granted just because the Muslim, he said that because he's ashamed of his religion. A normal, regular Muslim, he's ashamed of what's happening, and he is a Muslim, so he trying to defend himself, says, I have nothing to do with this, but this is Islam. So this guy, he is trying to fool us and says, the Muslims, they said, who are the Muslims you are talking about? A Muslim, my friend, or a Christian or a Hindu, is someone who follows his belief. So when a Muslim, he says that to you, James White, and you carry it out to us, trying to fool us, did the Muslim, they showed you that this is not the teaching of Muhammad? Like as an example, did Muhammad says I was victorious by terror from a distance of a month? Did he? The Muslim you are talking about, he don't believe in this? He don't. He don't believe his prophet was a terrorist? Muhammad himself, he said that clearly, that he is a terrorist, as you see in the front of your eyes. I was victorious by terror. By terror. Who said that? Muhammad. So if Muhammad was victorious by terror, but the Muslim, he is victorious by love. The Muslim, they said Islam does not teach that. ISIS does not present Islam, and I challenged this guy few months ago. He refused to debate me because he knew he is no match, and he failed to give us one thing ISIS did, Muhammad did not do. The whole idea of James White is to make you believe that we need to distinguish between Islam and ISIS. And the whole idea is he wants you to believe that Islam is a good religion. And Islam have nothing to do with terror. And what is missing, that James White will say to us tomorrow, that Muhammad himself is not a Muslim. He's ISIS. But the Muslims who live in America, and Shabir Ali, he's a friend, he is a true Muslim. Shabir Ali is a liar, the same as you, the same as Muhammad. The game of let us lie to each other is over, James White. You fail to give us any proof of what you say. The Muslim who says to you, like I saw in the news, that 300,000 Muslims who live in Vienna, they sign like a document against terrorism. Can they sign a document against Muhammad? It's a lie, it's a joke. And you think we are the fool who will take James White for granted and what the Muslims they say in TV because they are trying to protect themselves for people they are fed up with their terror? So he wants us to believe that we need to distinguish between Islam and ISIS.
All of that is absolutely 1,000% opposed to anything that we should ever do in the name of God, and is the best neighbor you've ever had. If you can't make a distinction between the two, yes, as Christians we go, they both need to hear about Jesus. And
so we need to distinguish between the two. The two who? The Muslims. The Muslims. You see, look what James White is doing. This is why I say clearly, and you know, I know he will never dare to debate me. I say clearly that this guy, he is the same as Muhammad. He is possessed by the devil. He said, the Muslim, they say, the Muslims, sorry, the Muslim, they say, the Muslim, they say what? Who is the Muslims? Who are the Muslims? he called ISIS ISIS and he called the Muslim Muslims, as if ISIS are not Muslims. You see how he put his poison? The Muslim, they say that ISIS does not present Islam and we don't accept to kill in the name of Allah. This is not Islam. Can you show me where you get this from, James White? Those Muslims you are present, you are the lawyer of those Muslims. Huh? Let us say you claim to be a scholar. You claim that you have a PhD, right? All right. So James White, a person who have a PhD, your PhD had nothing to do with Islam. But suddenly James White became so knowledgeable in Islam. Why? Because he debated many Muslims. But you debate nothing about Islam, my friend. You know nothing about Islam. You are the most ignorant person ever I saw after Muhammad. When you call ISIS ISIS and you call the other one who don't agree with ISIS Muslims, you yourself, you are fabricating a lie and giving titles for the one who you wish, because ISIS are Muslims and they are truthful Muslims. Now the challenge is to Dr. Muhammad James White. Can you show me how your friends, who they are, the Muslims as you call them, they can answer this? Muhammad, he was victorious by terror? Or Muhammad says, I'm going to expel the Christians and the Jews? Expelling the Christians and the Jews is a practice by ISIS, but it was expelled and practiced by Muslims through centuries and centuries, and until now. Until now in Saudi Arabia there is zero Christian. Have you ever heard of a country have zero Christians, zero Hindu, zero atheist? I mean, come on. The Muslims, they said Islam does not present us. I can show you Saudi Arabia, sorry, ISIS. I can show you the king of Saudi Arabia bringing Trump to say to him, we want to fight ISIS together. But they are doing that because they are afraid that they will take over their throne. All of us, we know. You are fooling who, James White? Is that the word of Muhammad? Or this is the words of ISIS? Is expelling people from their land just because they are from different religion is something the Muslim they sponsor today? Or we will find a brave Muslim, he will say whatever Muhammad he did is a crime. I challenge you to show me, or to make Shabir Ali make a video with you saying when Muhammad he did that, he is a filthy man. As long as you are saying the Muslim they said. The Muslim who said, did they say that when Muhammad he said don't initiate salam to the Christians and the Jews, and when you see them in the street force them to the most narrow alley, is an act of filth? It's a crime? Huh? The Quran says clearly that a Muslim, he have a duty is to humiliate us. First of all, they cannot say peace to you. لا تبدأوهم بالسلام. Don't say Assalamu alaikum. That's why you see a Muslim when he enter a chat room, he say Assalamu alaikum to Muslims, hello Christians, because he's not allowed. Salam means peace. He cannot give peace to Christians. He cannot grant peace. He will not kill you. And Muhammad he said, and when you meet them in the road, force them to the most narrow part of the road. What is that? It is the sewage. Did the Muslims, Mr. James White, the Muslims who said ISIS does not present us, did they say to you that Muhammad don't present us too? Making people walk in the sewage just because we are from different religion is a practice of ISIS or a practice of Muhammad? And by the way, this is in the Quran. This is not in the Hadith only. This is in the Quran. If we go in the Quran, we will find that the Quran says in chapter 9 verse 29, let us show you. قاتلوا الذين لا يؤمنون بالله ولا باليوم الآخر ولا يحرمون ما حرم الله ورسوله. Fight those who don't believe in Allah and the last day. From who? Specifically from the Christians and the Jews. Do the Muslims, who they are your friends, the one you call them the Muslims, they say, this does not present Islam. The Muslims, they say, do they believe in this verse? Or they don't? Can you show me one Muslim he don't agree with it? Fight who? Fight specifically the Christians and the Jews. For what? For what? What is the problem? What they did? They did not believe in Muhammad. And what we should do to them? We should humiliate them. Do you see it? Until they pay the jizya and they get humiliated. Do your friend the Muslim, they say to you, we don't accept that teaching no more? We have a new Quran? You see how James White tried to fool you? We need to distinguish between ISIS and the Muslims. But who is the Muslims? The Muslims is the one who believe in this book in the front of us. ISIS, when they forced the jizya on the Christians in Syria and in Iraq, are they practicing Islam or they are not? When Muhammad, he says we need to humiliate him, you can go and search right now for the Pact of Umar, where he forced them to wear certain clothes. He forced them to shave the front of their head, so everybody will know that you are a kafir, and people will spit on you. A Muslim can go inside your house, sleep for 3 days, 3 nights, eat your food, even share your bed, and maybe even will ask for your wife. And you have no right to say no. Find me one Muslim from those Muslims James White speaking about. He would say that Umar ibn Khattab was a filthy man. He was a criminal, a war criminal. Based in what is written in their books, not our books. All of them, they speak about Umar as a wonderful man. But the Pact of Umar is there. James White, he's trying to fool you and make you believe that Islam does not teach filth and ugly things. What about Muhammad? He says women have half a brain. Do Muslims today believe in that or not? Well, yes. The Quran says women, they are half witnesses, and they are not even allowed to witness in anything except only borrowing money. Women are not allowed to witness in marriage, in theft, in a crime from any kind, even in adultery. Women only allowed to witness in the case of writing of borrowing money, or contract of borrowing money. And Muhammad, he says the most of women, they will go to hell. Find me one Muslim don't believe in that. Muhammad, he cursed the Christian and the Jews. This guy James White, he says to you, some people, they will show you a video made by some crazy cleric, and they are saying crazy things, and they say to you, oh, this is Islam.
Just giddy, absolutely giddy. I've played where, Sunni imams are praying that Shiites would get cancer and die, and we're just like, oh, that's unbelievable. And remember that one Ethiopian or that Nigerian imam, forget which one it was. Just giddy, absolutely giddy, with excitement at finding a hadith that will allow him to kill women and children as long as they're kuffers, and we pointed out that he sort of skipped the other hadith that were read.
See, you see how he put his poison? He's talking about those Christians who they show you videos of Muslims cursing the Christians, teaching hate even against each other, killing the Christian, killing the Jews in their speeches, and hateful. But then he said, and they post and they pick up a hadith which is fit with their propaganda, but they skip the other good ones. James White, can you show me the good ones? You just mentioned that they skip the good ones. Can you show me the good ones? Can you show me where Muhammad, he was good to the Christians? Just to show James White how dummy he is. Muhammad once, he said, a woman, she gave water to a dog, she will enter heaven. It was a thirsty dog. A person like James White, he will use that hadith to say, you see, Muhammad, he loved dogs. But there's different hadith says Muhammad killed, he said, kill the dogs. So how we can match this one with this one? The fact they match perfectly. Muhammad is trying to teach his people that he is the man of mercy, but he killed dogs. When Muslims, they kill Christians and Jews and Hindus and Buddhas, they consider us dogs. So they put a chain around their necks in order to make us believers. So he say, I am a merciful man. I kill you because I have a mercy on you. I sent as a mercy prophet by the sword. This is what Muhammad, he said. Who is the best person for mankind? Is the Muslim. How he is the best of mankind? By go and doing jihad and putting chains around your neck. Muhammad, he said, or in the Quran, chapter 3, verse 110, you are the best forever, best people ever. Muslims are the best. You see, fascism, they are the best. And what is making them best? And look what it says here, between two brackets, the Muslim trying to make it look nicer, for the benefit of mankind. Wow. A Muslim, he wanna fool you, he will quote this verse, he will say, you Muslims are the best for mankind because you give benefit for mankind. And then you say to yourself, why? They are giving, wow, that's wonderful. Those Muslims, they are ordered to give benefit to mankind. Not only Muslims, but they will not tell you how to do that. The best for mankind are those who bring them with chains around their necks till they embrace Islam. This is what James White, he is trying to fool you. He want to make you believe in the first part only, where it says that Muslims are the best of mankind and they are good like us and they are good like everybody. And ISIS is not Islam. But he don't want you to see the second part, which is explaining the verse. Why the Muslim, they want to bring you in the chains around your neck, and how they can do it? How a Muslim will do that? By attacking you, by enslaving you, by how he can put a chain around your neck? How he can do that? You will come to him like a puppy and he say, okay, put a chain around my neck. No way, right? So how he will do it? He will force you by the sword to be his sex slave, in case you are a woman. Sex slave if you are his woman or a woman. A servant, a slave, as if a child. Until you embrace Islam. If you want to have your freedom back, embrace Islam. Actually, Bilal, who Abu Bakr, he bought him, Muhammad died and still Muhammad refused to give him his freedom. And then after Muhammad died, Bilal, the Ethiopian guy, he went to Abu Bakr, he said, if you bought me for the sake of Allah, well, keep me, release me for the sake of Allah. If you bought me for yourself, keep me for yourself. But why the Muslim, they want to do that? They want to bring you in chains so you can embrace Islam to save you. Look how nice they are. Like, guys, look how beautiful this religion is. This is what James White trying to prove to you. he is trying to prove to you that he, the Muslim, he's a friend, Shabir Ali. He want to save you from eternal punishment in hellfire. This is, my friend, a beautiful belief. ISIS does not present Islam. So who is the one who's doing that? Is that the duty of every Muslim, or this is the duty of ISIS? Hypocrisy, lies, and deception. My friends, be aware of false teachers. Not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of my Father, but the one who do his will. The Quran is full of verses where Quran teach hate. Chapter 5, verse number 14. Let us go there. We are here actually in chapter 9, verse number 14, where it says, Allah, he want to punish the Christians by the hand of the believers. It's their duty. In chapter 5, verse number 51, it says, "O you believe, take not the Christians and Jews as a friends. And whoever take them as a friend, he is one of them." He is one of them. You see it? So if Shabir Ali really is a truthful when he say, I am your friend, James White, and they take a cute picture together, is he practicing the Quran, or he is practicing taqiyya, which is a practice Muslim they are allowed to do in order to protect Islam and to fool others, in chapter 3, verse 28. How we can stand together and we take a selfie together like this, unless one of us is lying to the other one, when the Quran says in chapter 5, verse 51, take not the Christians and Jews as a friends. When the Quran says in the same chapter that Allah have a duty, and the duty is to spread hate and enmity between the Christians. If we ask Shabir Ali, who ran away from debate me as usual, the same as James White, Muhammad James White, why Allah want to spread hate? They will say to you, well, you left God, so Allah will spread hate between you. So if I am sick, let us say if I am sick, Allah will give me more sickness. This is exactly what Islam teach. Yesterday, I made a video about Shabir Ali, and he was talking about the miracle of number 19, and I got him busted with it. And he mentioned a verse in the Quran, which he claimed that this verse contained a miracle of number 19, and when we showed you that this is nothing but a lie. But what funny about the verse Shabir Ali, he mentioned that this verse says that whoever Allah misguide, no one can guide. The funny, in the same verse it says that it is Allah who tried to prove to the Christian and the Jews and the Muslims that he is a true God. Why? Because he have 19 angels guarding the hell. But then the verse says, thus Allah send not astray, he deceive whom he will, and he guide who he will. This is what the Muslims believe, James White. That Allah, he have a job to deceive the Christians and the Jews. He deceive who he will. You see, the Muslim, they translate the word astray, but the fact in Arabic it is yudil. Yudil. Here we go. This is why one of my books name is Deception. كذلك يضل الله من يشاء. This is how Allah, he misguide, deceive who he like, and he guide who he like. So Allah misguide someone like James White to use him as a tool of the devil between the Christians, so the Christian, they will be confused and they will believe that there is something is called Muslims and there is something is called ISIS. So we have to distinguish between Muslims and ISIS, as if there is something is called Muslims anyway. Muslims are nothing but anyone who follow the book of Islam and the hadith of their prophet. As simple as that. And as you see, the book of Islam is full of anger, filth, cult, hateful teaching. Like when ISIS, they practice, as an example, cutting hands and necks, even fingers. Is that practice of Islam? Yes. The verse is in front of you. I will install terror in the heart of the unbelievers, submit you above their necks, submit their fingertips, cut their necks, cut their fingers, and install terror. But remember, James White, he said, Muslims, they refuse what ISIS do. But ISIS, they are practicing this. Which one of them is telling the truth? The fact is, there is a Muslim, he is a coward, he don't want to go and do jihad. He is waiting for others to do it, and he loves to see them victorious. And there is a Muslim, he is willing to go and sacrifice his life in this war. As simple as that. Otherwise, all of them, trust me, all of them, they love to see Europe, America, Australia, Canada, etc. under the occupancy or the occupation of the Islamic flag of ISIS. Muhammad, he said in the hadith, I've been ordered to fight all mankind. Until what? Until everybody became a Muslim, as you see it in front of you on the screen. Is that really the constitution of Islam? Absolutely. You see, when someone like James White trying to explain to you the pillars of Islam, it's a stupid. You know, there's nothing called pillars of Islam. The pillars of Islam is what you see in front of you. This is what is the pillar of Islam. I've been commanded that I should fight against people, all the world, till they declare that there is no God but Allah. And when they do that, and then when they do pray, and then they pay zakat, and then they slaughter as we slaughter, and then they eat as we eat, and then I will stop shedding their blood. But he said to us, ISIS does not present Islam. But go and watch the videos of ISIS. They say we want to put the flag of Islam on the top of the White House, in the top of the Vatican, in the top of Mexico, in the top of Argentina, in the top of Spain, in the top of everybody. We want to dominate the earth. Find me one Muslim, he don't believe in this. I challenge you. You have to do all those things, otherwise you are no Muslim. Now somebody might say to me, so why ISIS, they kill Muslims? My friend, the story is so clear. According to Islam, if you don't do any of those things, do you see what Muhammad, he said? Look, the Messenger of Allah, he said, I've been ordered to fight against the people until, you see the word until what? Testify. Number one, you say Shahada, that Allah is God and Muhammad is his prophet, as you see. Okay, are we done? Not yet. And until they establish Salat. If you don't pray, Salah means pray. If you don't pray, they kill you. You are apostate. And you pay zakat. If you don't pay the money to the Islamic State, they kill you too. For you are a Muslim who is apostate now. And if they do that, then they will have gained protection. In more hadith, they give more description. You have to eat as Muhammad he eat. You have to slaughter as he slaughter. You have to face the Qibla. You see? This is a very strong story and believed by every Muslim. Read with me. So I have been commanded until they testify, and until they face the Qibla. So if you don't pray facing the Kaaba, Muhammad will kill you too, even if you say Shahada. Doesn't matter. If you eat what we slaughter, if you eat pork, you are out of Islam. We kill you. And pray like us. If you don't pray like them, we kill you. And then when they do that, their life and their property are unlawful to us, unless except what is due to them, which means if they do something against Islam, then we kill them again. That is the pillars of Islam. Anything else is a joke. And James White is nothing but a person trying to confuse you. And I like to give him a name from now on, Muhammad James White. For both, Muhammad is a scammer, James White is a liar. So both they match together. Muhammad the prophet, the scammer, and James White the liar. Both they fit perfectly together. For they are trying to deceive us and trying to make us believe that Islam is a good religion and there's Muslims and there's ISIS, and we have to distinguish between them. When the fact this is absolutely false and there's no such a thing. There's a video, I would like people to watch it. It's called Dispatch. This is a very important video, and this will show you that even those who claim in public that Islam is against terrorism, inside the mosque they teach differently. This is a great video. I advise everybody to watch it. The truth is right in the front of your eyes. It's recorded secretly in hiding camera inside mosques all over England, and you will see how those mosques, they make speeches in public that Islam is religion of tolerance, we respect Islam, etc. But inside the doors they say totally different stories. So watch it, educate yourself, or you will be a victim of stupidity like Muhammad James White, the ignorant. If you like to contact me, feel free to go to this website, and you will find always my new videos. And the website is called patreon.com/Christian Prince. So this is the address. You will see it actually under the video. So tell your friends, share the videos, and always check if I have any new videos in this address. And God bless you. Thank you very much for listening. And don't forget to download the video and share it with your friends wherever you like. God bless.
Guidance, or we Muslims don't have the bravery that the Sahaba did in conveying the truth. So we lie and we cheat and we claim things that are not part of Islam, and guess what? Not all of them are dumb. They can tell when we lie. They can tell when someone sits behind it that says Islam is peace. Islam is about peace. There's no jihad. The only jihad is the jihad of the soul. You fight against your struggle, your shaitan, khalas. That's where jihad ends. Every ayah you read in the book of Allah, you have misunderstood it. Ya Shaykh, haram alayk ya Shaykh. Why are you afraid to tell the people the truth? Don't you think Allah gave him a brain? Don't you think this kafir is going to open the Quran, read Surah Al-Anfal, and he's going to come across these ayat, the military ayat, which you've been trying to hide? Then what are you going to do? Then he's going to say, you guys were lying to me the whole time, and you keep telling me something, and here's your book, here's your Quran. Oh no, but no. See, you don't understand. This ayah was actually abrogated by the other ayah, لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينُ. So now they twist things around. If that was in the beginning, I mean, ajib ya akhi. So you keep playing with the deen of Allah and change.